out some yellow cards. I thought that he was card shy, but he wasn't, contrary to my earlier belief. So the cards have come through. So second half upon us, and the refereeing call, just making sure everything is spot on and in the right place. The FIFA referee, one of those that sit on the FIFA panel. So it is Power Dynamos who are defending the goal on the left on your screen, attacking in the opposite direction. And we can also confirm that no changes have been made on either side in terms of playing personnel. Both Chavinga and Mutapa deciding to keep their cards close to the chest. Now Nkana hoping to defend and the long ball forward that was made for Idrisi Lunga Mbombo. Nothing given, so it's going to be an exciting second half, because now there'll be a bit of these players being a bit cautious, because some of them already sitting on the yellow cards, even as the two teams lineups are scrolling down on your screen. Sakala Benson hoping to force a pass but loses out on possession from Harrison Chisala. Back pass to Collins Mulenga. Chisala, difficult one in terms of just spreading that pass. Aaron Shakava. Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba took his eyes off the ball, and position is lost. And in fact, having lost the ball, just had the trailing boot on a Power Dynamos player. Difficult to tell from this position. Of course, to offer his apologies for that challenge. Good sportsmanship by Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba. And so is Mbombo. It's Benson Sakala. The game to get underway. So first change coming up, and it is Freddy Lukasi El Sutra Shimenga. He's coming in for Collins Mulenga. So a left back being taken off, and in comes an attacking player in Freddy Lukasi El Sutra Shimenga. He has already scored one goal in the derby. Also lining up, and maybe issues of consolidating the defense. Ronald Sate Kampamba exits, and the leading scorer in the derby, Ronald Kampamba, is off. His place taken up by Richard Okran. So a defender in for another one. In the case of Sate, it would be interesting, Muka, to see how he's going to tinker around in terms of Chavinga's setup here, because he's removed a striker in Kampamba and also a defender in Collins Mulenga, bringing in a defender in Richard Okran and Freddy Lukasi El Sutra Shimenga, an offensive player.
Or Shimenga to support Idrisi Lunga Mbombo. Shimenga can also play as a false number 9. He will play in the pockets. He will provide those passes on the flank. They need a little bit of pace, and Sate was not giving them that. For Richard Okran, it's basically somebody with a mature head. They've noticed that David Daka really, not only is he using his space, but he's outwitting that defense. So that's a very interesting tactical change. I expected a double substitution at halftime, and alas, the reaction is there from Manfred.
So from where I'm sitting here, it looks like Freddy has gone up to help out as a twin striker with Idrisi Lunga Mbombo. It's an ODRC attack force in this case. And Okran on the left back position where Collins Mulenga was. Aaron Shakava. Musa Muhammad Mayeko. First touch on the ball from the Ghanaian who has just been introduced in Richard Okran. Shakava. The whole backline for this Nkana Football Club is all made up of foreigners. For the introduction now of Collins, following the substitution of Collins Mulenga, is place taken by Okran. Wide to Harrison Chisala, being pursued by Konwani Chivoni. Nkana being forced to play back. Musa Muhammad to Shakava. Mwanga Kampamba. Too slow. Chamanga is quick to react to the situation. Such a utility player, this Chamanga. Kafuaya. White Mwanamba looking for David Daka. He will not stop running, and now coming up against Shakava. The big bang on the back of Shakava by David Daka. Already we saw Musa Muhammad get the beating of David Daka. It can be such a tricky customer, this former Zegamambo, Zesco United player.
Oh, Devi has a lot of pace, Matimba, and this kind of backline really lack the ability to just have that pace.
Chisala beaten to that challenge by Lamek Kafwaya. They're looking for David Daka. Good ball. Mulambia. Chance now for Power Dynamo's opportunity. And it's a goal! 2-0. And it is David Daka. Patient build-up. Similar style. Similar pattern. And Power Dynamos are really taking on this Nkana side in terms of the ball passing game. And yet again, they will celebrate. Chiwe now has to pick the ball twice from the back of the net. Power Dynamos with their characteristic type of play. And it is David Daka on the score sheet. His first derby goal. And he's standing up to be a game for the debutants in terms of them getting goals in the debut, in the derby. And this man, I reckon, it will be an early evening. Certainly not a good one. And what good play by Power Dynamos. True. The icing being put on the cake with that fine finish by David Daka.
Look at the assist first of all. Nice pass into the channel. He makes that run. Even a broken watch is correct twice a day. David Daka, not only will he give you pace and those assists, the calmness in taking that nice shot at goal. And boy, oh boy, that assist from Frederick Mulambia. Class act, the weight on the ball, the pass. David Daka throws it into the corner. Alan Chiwe can do nothing, and Power right now are really pushing the game.
So it's turning out to be a day for debutants in the derby. Daka with his first goal of the season, and an important one for Power Dynamos, who lead 2-0 against Nkana. So then, it's interesting, these two players had to wait until derby day to score their first goals of the 2019-2020 season. And Kakunta, as usual, this man may be wondering now, where will that equalizer come through? The former Green Eagles coach, of course, consultation on the right with Zambia's most capped player, Joseph Muzo Musonda, who's now doubling up as a coach player, but most importantly in charge of the physical aspect of this Nkana side. Wow. And this is exactly the result that we got some few seasons ago. And Power Dynamos won by 2-0. We'll share with you that statistic shortly. Let's see this movement by Nkana Football Club. Now, Gift Zulu. Oh, the new rules are that if the ball hits the referee, it's going to be a drop ball situation in favor of the team that had possession. In this case, it was Nkana Football Club.
Well, he looked to play advantage, but there was a power player there, rightly so. Audric Nkole blows the whistle.
Now, cross comes through from Zulu. Bombo now, and easily saved by Kakunta. There was not so much power. You can see the frustration written all over his face. Idris Ilunga Mbombo normally tucks them in. But that's what happens sometimes when the pressure's on and when your team is down.
Well, very emotional lad, but if you need somebody to fight for you in the trenches, if you need somebody to pull a rabbit out of a hat, that's the man for the job. And Bombo needs to pull his team from this abyss.
Nkana now, they really have to come out of the situation where they've been after all that praising them being the side that looked like we're going to get an early goal with early dominance. That's not happening. Fred Elsutra Shimenga. White. Okran. Return pass is received by Kampamba. Cleared out by White Manamba, but it's a situation of just taking the ball out. The Red Sea of this stadium is all quiet. It's expected. They're down. 2-0. Alan Chiwe. Speaking of which, the last time that we had the 2-0 scoreline for Power Dynamos beating Nkana was in 2012. And in that game, Power Dynamos beating Nkana 2-0 here at the Arthur Davis Stadium. Emmanuel Chimpinde, 40th minute, and Simon Ward in the 75th minute. Now, Idris Ilunga Mbombo into the box, and he falls on his own. Not turning out to be a good day for the Nkana striker, Idris Ilunga Mbombo.
Well, he had 3 for company. Shimenga was in the box. Likewise, Chisala was in the box, and he just needed to put the ball in the box. He was definitely onside, but right there, in two minds, Idris Ilunga Mbombo, whether to beat the player with a little bit of a step over, he should have looked up and just provided the assist. And that's the problem there. Just thinking about too many things to do. That's what pressure does to you. That's what a derby does to you.
Oh, how Perimutapa and Masao D'Souza Tembo have just transformed this Power Dynamo side in believing them. Same material, same players. Now they're beginning to grind the results. Already in a comfortable 2-0 lead here. So corner, Alan Chiu was trying to keep that one in play, but too little, too late.
You were talking about the belief on the Power Dynamo side. Chemboni chasing down Richard Okran. He should be the fresher of the two. He's just been on the field of play for nothing more than 10 minutes. He passes the ball to Alan Chiwe, but unfortunately it goes out and it's a corner. And look at what Power are doing. They continue to torment this Nkana side, and they're talking amongst themselves. Nkana, there's a problem in that Nkana defense.
And the Power Dynamo supporters are taunting Mbombo with the Mbombo chant here. Corner, shot one taken by Power Dynamos. Chance now, Ladiwala keeps it in play. Corner. Another corner. Pressure on Nkana. This is clever play by Power Dynamos. Loving it on the world of champions super sports. We're talking of in the splendor of high definition, quality sound, and super picture. Ladiwala with yet another corner. 10 minutes, 11 played in the second stanza here. Wale now decides to take a long one. Spot inside, easily picked up by Alan Chibwe. Out come Nkana Football Club with Harrison Chisala. They've already made 2 changes that have not yielded anything so far. Picked up by Rafa Mala, who just hoofs it forward. Shakava will leave it for his goalkeeper Alan Chiwe to pick this one. Shakava can have to show a sense of agency to at least pull one back. A goal at this stage will certainly shake up things. We saw an earlier attempt that came through from Mbombo. One touch by Chisala. Sutra Shimenga, no progression made. Easily picked up by Kafuaya to Laribuada. Chip in the box. It seems the instruction from Perimutapa is that every ball that you have, look for the pace. They want to utilize the pace and speed that David Daka has, because he's got it better so far twice of Musa Muhammad and Aaron Shakava.
Matimba, look at the Power defense, the Power bench, I beg your pardon, and it looks really decent.
Bombo, good interview. This is good play by Power Dynamos. Chiwoni. Pass to David Daka, takes a shot and wide. You should have taken it at the far post, David. But good play. And Perimutapa will certainly appreciate this build-up by Power Dynamos. They're coming out of the blocks, and David Daka finding his form that saw him score important goals at Zanaco Football Club, and Zesco United coming out quickly to sign him on. Now, on the other side, it is Mbombo. Takes a shot and into the crowd. That sums up what is probably beginning to be a frustrating afternoon for Idris Ilunga Mbombo, who's the leading goal scorer for this Nkana Football Club side with 9 goals.
The Power fans continue to taunt Idris Ilunga Mbombo with Mbombo. And this young man here would have just gone for the easy technique of going across when the ball was coming. Far post, not near post, and I think he would have made Iron Chiwa work. An opportunity gone begging, but they will forgive him. David Daka, who scored a beautiful goal a few minutes ago in the 50th minute to put them ahead by 2, and he was a pivotal part of the first goal.
Another chance with Luka Chamanga was overlapped. David Daka is into the box. Too much power behind that ball, but David Daka still a workaholic, chasing for every ball. Look at how he's coming up against Musa Muhammad. He's really not scared of the big frame of the likes of Haruna Shakava, and of course this time around it was Richard Okran.
I think they've noticed that Okran holds on to the ball a little bit too much. They're putting pressure on him. David Daka there making that run. Chamboni as well.
Talking of Chiboni, he's having a good run on the right side of this Power Dynamo's attack, or rather defense, I beg your pardon. Sutra Shimenga putting on to the ball, he gives away possession now. Dari Bwadia. Oh, Dari also should have just released the ball. Referee call allowing play to go on, and now I thought that Wali, having won that ball off Sutra Shimenga, should have done better. Possession given away rather cheaply by Shakava. Recovery is good by Gift Zulu. Quick throw it will be for Nkana Football Club. That's the type of play you need at this stage from a player like Gift Zulu when your team is down. Mubanga Kampamba. Nkana's next game will be at the Nkana Stadium next week when they host Nkwazi Football Club. Of course, Nkwazi yesterday drawing and picking up a point in Choma. This does not look good for Frederick Mulambia, the former Young Power Dynamos player. He's the current top scorer for this Power Dynamos side, the 20-year-old with 3 goals. He's pointing to the thigh area, maybe an indication of some pain in and around that area. The team medics have been called in, Kadochi and them.
So let's organize now.
Really asking them to maintain the ship in that instance, and he knows pretty well that his team are leading by 2-0. Should they lose all 3 points this afternoon, it will be their own undoing. Look at the sea of red. The fans don't believe that Power are putting them to the sword now. This is an Nkana side that has gone 8 games without defeat. It's an Nkana side that are the only side that have managed to defeat Zesco.
A few moments ago, we saw Nancy P. It's very easy to identify these Power Dynamos and Nkana ladies because they are always very faithful regardless of the team's performance. Well done, ladies. So Nkana, well, the Power Dynamos are down to 10 as Frederick Mulambia receives treatment. David Daka just piling up pressure, is really making this defense work. You can see the desperation. A first clearance from Musa Muhammad. He's really using his speed to great effect, and the pace of the Nkana defense is not as quick as is for the Power Dynamos defense, and that's where David Daka is really benefiting by just piling up pressure. White Mwanambamba switches play, hoping to find Chiwoni. Kept in play by Kondwani, but Reef has it that the ball had gone out for a throw-in. So third and final change for Nkana Football Club. They're taking off Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba, the captain. So things not working out here. The fans are not agreeing with this substitution, but his place taken by Oswald Kasondebwalia. So Nkana have exhausted the changes and influential players. You see, when the likes of Kampamba, the 2 Kampambas go off, then it means that it's not a good day. Oswald Kasondebwalia, the former Nchanga Rangers player, into the fray.
Well, the one thing we know about Manfred Chavinga, he is no respecter of names. If you don't deliver, he will substitute you.
Corner now for Nkana Football Club. Brought in. Cleared out desperately by White Mwanambamba. Richard Okran has already arrived. Good switch play, looking for Zulu, was still on the far right, having taken the corner. So Nkana, with 63 minutes played, have to do with the available players, because remember, they've exhausted all the 3 changes available. Power yet to make a change. Zulu fighting his way, cleared out by Chamanga. Shakava keeps it in play. Brother Otieno. Kasonde whips in one into the box. Easy pickings for just Jackson Kakunta. So Kakunta also playing his first real derby. Remember, he was in goal in the Absa Cup when these 2 sides met. Pressure now on Manfred Chavinga, the former RSCC United coach. That is the last side that he coached in Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, before coming back to Zambia. Mistake by Kakunta. Getting excited with the big stage also, the youngster.
Well, he's been really bad with his delivery. We've got 2 balls on the field of play. It's not always a good sign when you have 2 balls, particularly in this instance.
It's going to be a drop ball situation. Okran did not get the instructions or what the match referee was saying. Odrick Nkole. There's a drop ball now. Okran. Shakava. Looking for the run of Gift Zulu, is now more camped into the. He's been given the role to A free roll of overlapping. Shakava failing to see where to place the ball. Shimenga cut out. The things that Nkana suffered in terms of their overall performance last season was the absence of Freddy Eusutra Shimenga, who was out for a lengthy period, missed a lot of continental matches and domestic matches as out of an injury. Again, in similar fashion, Power Dynamo's build-up that has resulted in goals has started in this similar fashion. Bakodila, Larry Bwalia, to the byline, finds Kondwani Chiboni. Good ball now. David Daka now, putting up pressure. Finds Mulambia. Teeing up Chiboni. Easy one. This should be the third one. Opportunity, and it's a goal! Frederick Mulambia makes it 3-0 for Power Dynamos. Nkana Football Club have been taken to the cleaners. Somebody gotta stop this fire. It's too much. And like I said earlier on, passion build-up. And as if it was by design, listening to commentary, resulting in that goal. It's certainly proving to be a handful. David Daka and team up front. And Frederick Mulambia, the 20-year-old, going into the history books as one of the young players to score on the derby. His fourth of the season, and for the very first time playing in the derby, scoring the third one for Power Dynamos.
Great build-up. This amazing match gives us another twist. Just when you thought you had seen it all. Look at that. Kamku collected, almost nutmegs Alan Chiwe. Power Dynamos taking Nkana to the cleaners. Boy oh boy, Arthur Davis Stadium has got fireworks today, and Nkana can only watch like the 4th of July has come to them. The level of confidence that Perry Mutapa and Masao Sotembo have put on not only Frederick but the entire team is remarkable.
So, it's the very first time since 2000, if it ends this way, that Power Dynamos would have beaten Nkana 3-0 at this venue. So, Mulambia with the 4th for the season, 3rd one for Power Dynamos. It is Aba Yellow 3 and Aba Red 0. Reaction time now. Again, when they lose possession, Power quickly just start in this patient build-up. Lamek Kafwaya. This will send a strong signal to other teams, even as Power Dynamos quickly start going up the ladder in terms of the 2019-2020 season. White Mwanamamba. Bakodila. Sakala, Benson. Lamek Kafwaya. 67 minutes played. Same similar pattern of play that we've seen from this Power Dynamo side that has resulted in the 3 goals. Kakunta. Duncan Otieno. These Power Dynamos players, player for player, if you compare against the Nkana players, it's the Nkana players that have got more experience, but they've not been overawed by the experience. Now look at this. Laribwada to David Daka. Sakala, Benson. But again, this speaks volumes about sometimes the influence that these coaches have, because Perry Mutapa, during his playing days, he was called the principal, or Bebeto. Remember Bebeto, the Brazilian? So as a result of that, the type of play is what is coming through.
Well, the goal scorer just gets reminded, there's an elbow. That certainly is a sending off altercation. And in that instance, he needs to be sent off. Harun Shakava, I mean, why would you do that? For all the experience Shakava has, he just goes and elbows Frederick Mulambia.
It's very disappointing.
It's very disappointing.
Especially
Off the ball incident.
Especially for a 20-year-old. This man is supposed to see red.
And Shakava, for the most part, normally has professional fouls. He will have a lot of off-the-ball incidences. Several times he does this all the time and he goes scot-free. But this man here is fortunate to actually be standing on that field of play. But the Power supporters showing us the yellow wall as they normally celebrate in fashion by turning their backs on the field of play.
The last time we had a lot of goals scored, Muka, like this was, I remember that in 2012, this man who have not a good night. It was in 2012, a online game that was played on May 19 at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium when Nkana were beaten 5-1 Nkana were actually the team at home, even though that game was played at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. Because Joseph Milanzi was the one who scored the first goal in the 29th minute before goals from Mukuka Mulenga, Govenda Simwala, Joseph Sital, Gravin Chital, and Kennedy Mdenda. 41, 46, 74, 85th and 90th minute saw the Power Dynamo side win that match. So, they must be excited suddenly, and a chance for you to get those selfies. But for these Nkana supporters and Nkana faithfuls, you might just be wondering now what could have gone wrong with a team that had gone 8 games unbeaten on the run. There was so much hope, but this is how the derby can be. 20 minutes before the end of this match is what Nkana have if they have to get a reply or probably get a point here at the other Davis Stadium. And what a drama that will be, and what a dramatic story it will turn out to be if it does happen. So Mulambya still out receiving treatment. Alan Chiwe, Okran. This Nkana defense has been breached now 3 times. Shakava. Switching play was intending to get Idris Ilunga Mbombo. Credit should go to the central defense pairing of Power Dynamos of Rafa Omala Makuguli and White Manamamba, combining with Bakodida, who have kept him at bay. Cross comes through, cleared out by Chiwoni Kondwani. Chisala now for Nkana Football Club. Chest control is good by Duncan Otieno, hoping to shoot from far, and easy pickings for Jackson Kakunta. So then, Otieno with that shot, the player who is on a 2-year contract with Nkana Football Club, but for this boy Jackson Kakunta, formerly of Red Arrows, his first derby and putting up breathtaking saves. Harrison Chisala. Progression now into the Power Dynamos half. You need a captain's goal at this stage, at least to steer up anything, or to steer up what might be a comeback for this Nkana Football Club side.
We'll talk about pressure. The captain's armband moved. Obviously, we expected Ronald Sate Kampamba to have it. It moved to Kelvin Muwanga Kampamba. When he got substituted, it was given to Idris Ilunga Mbombo.
Well, now the Power executive will have to justify, even to the supporters, if at all they're paying huge paycheck to these coaches in Dasuza, Masauso Tembo, and Frederick Mulambya, the current top scorer for Power Dynamos on 4 goals and scored the 3rd goal for Power Dynamos, exits the 20-year-old graduate from the young Power Dynamos side.
Well, the goal was superb. A lot of calm and ease, little much of a bit of a step over, a bit of a dummy, and Chiwe can do nothing. He scores as if the goalkeeper was not there at all. And boy, oh boy, he's put in a shift and a half. Look at the celebration.
Ronald Mulenga and Frederick Mulambya. Suddenly Mulambya coming out good. 2 out of 2 now he scored. He also scored in the game against Zanaco when they were beaten 3-0. So in the last 2 games, Power Dynamos have scored 6 goals. In comes Martin Kayua as the first change for this Power Dynamos side. Oscar Kayua so far scored only 1 goal in this 2019-2020 campaign.
Nkana need a goal every 6 minutes in counting. If they don't do that, they'll be handed their first defeat in 9 games. And Power, not only will this give them confidence, it almost explains.
Now Mbombo couldn't control. It was a bit heavy. A pass it was for Idris Ilunga Mbombo. Cleared out by Kondwani Chiwoni. In fact, that goal by Frederick Mulambya was from one young Power graduate to the other, Chiwoni to Mulambya. So they suddenly read their chemistry very well in terms of that pass coming to fruition. If it ends like this, one side of Quito town will be dead silent.
Well, the beauty with the Quito residents is that you pretty much reside everywhere in Quito, but the stadium is on either side, and rightly so, Matimba. The stadium will be quiet, but there are a lot of fans here because houses are split, marriages are split, because you've got a wife and a husband supporting different teams, and even now the stadium is split. I've seen the mayor of Kitwe. He's an Nkana supporter. I've seen the mayor of Luansha. He's not wearing any jersey. And the DC of Kitwe is a Power supporter. But all things being equal, it's Power who are controlling the game, leading by 3 with relative ease.
So Power Dynamo's next game will be here at the Arthur Davis Stadium. They will welcome second place, tied on points with Zesco United in Napsa Stars. That should be a crack of a game here at the Arthur Davis Stadium. Well, Nkana also be at home against Nkwazi. So we were saying Kakunta is originally from Red Arrows. So we say formally because he used to play for Red Arrows, although he's on loan from Red Arrows and now on the books of Power Dynamos. That should be able to send a signal to maybe the original or parent club,
Yeah.
to say, oh, maybe it's time we bring him back. Will Power agree? That's another debate for another day.
With another substitution, David Daka with an assist and a goal will make way. Look at the assist there, and then the pass comes back to him. He strikes the ball with relative ease in the 51st minute, I beg your pardon. David Daka with that assist that is received from Frederick Mulambia.
So Linus Makwaza Jr., the son of the former Zambian international Linus Makwaza, 22 years of age, being introduced, another product from the young Power side. So these boys are really, really graduating, and that speaks volumes. 1 goal so far he has scored for the Power Dynamo side. Back to action, 14 minutes. Kondwani, Chiboni, Sakala, Benson. Kept in place by Larry Wadia. The trickery for Wadia, they are not working. Back pass all the way to goalkeeper in Alan Chibwe. No one is moving, not even the Nkana supporters, even as their team is trailing 3-0 at this stage. Big clearance forward, looking for the run of Idris Ilunga Mbombo. Does the extension, goalkeeper almost coming out, but managing to take it out. It's a set piece for Ghana Football Club after that foul by Chamanga. We'll see how they will take this one. But now this is how the incident happened. And Chamanga not giving chance straight into the body of the Ghana right back. Oh, look at Tom Kampamba. The language, the expression on their faces speaks volumes of what is currently obtaining. Chavinga, Joseph Msonda, Tom Kampamba, goalkeeper coach. That sums up what is a very disappointing afternoon. So they'll be looking forward maybe to pick up points on Saturday when they're hosting Nkwazi. Speaking of which, in the other game, Power Dynamos are taking on Napsa Stars. Napsa playing some fine football. Currently second position, same points with Zesco United. And yesterday winning 2-1 against Lumwana Radiance in Lusaka. That must be a very hard period and very frustrating one if you're a Nkana fan, looking on pensively, waiting and hoping. And with all this betting that is happening around, some people have probably baited some property or other things.
Well, the ticket has fallen, if I may use that term, Matimba. Look at the fans. They're wearing him. They can't believe that this is what's happening. For a team that started the game with dominance, Power has really, really abused this Nkana side.
Now Mbombo with the set piece, hard and low. Second time now, brought into the box. Power Dynamos do a good job defensively. They can build now with Laribwad. It doesn't have the support. Quick reaction from Gift Zulu. Okran. Always slowing things, this Richard Okran, when he's got the ball. But now, it's Freddy Lukasi Elsutra Shimenga. The switch play for Gift Zulu. Chest control is good. 26-year-old, formerly of Forest Rangers. Looking for progression to be made. Shimenga. Otieno. Shakava. Again, pass from Otieno not coming to fruition, and that should be a decision against Frederick Shimenga. Was literally almost climbing on the back of the Power Dynamo's right back. Looks like it's Konwani Chiboni from this position. Team medics again will have to be called in. Chiboni missing out important games also for him last season as a result of the injury. Just how Perry Mutapa and Masaso Tembo have made this team to have self-belief in themselves. And this sends a very strong message to other teams that they'll be meeting on the road in terms of the upcoming fixtures. So as it stands, a win for Power Dynamos today, who are currently 10th, they'll move to 20 points. They'll be tied with Green Buffaloes. In fact, they'll move to 8th position. Buffaloes will drop down to position 9. Well, from Nkana Football Club, a chance for them to overtake both Forest Rangers and Red Arrows will not happen if it means this way, because they'll remain on 24. Because if that won, they would have gone into 3rd position, pushing down Forest Rangers. Now, Raribwala with a shot and a save by Alan Chiwe. It was suddenly headed for goal, hard and low from Mr. Raribwala.
Larry just realizes that there's a bit of an open space in the middle there. Makes Alan Chiwe work. And he opens up his body right at the right time. And really, there was very little or nothing Musa Muhammad could do.
Take a short corner now. Power Dynamos. Mistake by Kafuaya Lamek. Shimenga outside his boot to Idris Ilunga Mbombo. Again, Shimenga. Pass easily stopped by Faustino Bakodila. Now, another chance. Goalkeepers come out. Chiwe, and good save. Good reaction by the Nkana goal custodian. It was Martin Kayua, yet another graduate from the Nkana side, rather from the Young Power side. So a lot of these Young Power Dynamos players filling up the most important spaces and places in this Power Dynamos side. Thrown in by Kondwani Chiboni. Kayua. Good play by Ladibuadia. Oh, backheel pass, very good. Sutra Shimenga was not anticipating that one. Alan Chiwe. The box now again, and Kakunta collects. Kakunta bide a bit of time here. And slowly but surely, some fans, frustrated ones, should be beginning to troop out of this stadium. This does not look good. Again, Mr. Mbombo and team try to buy a lot of time in terms of getting play back into action. Frustration on the face of Musa Muhammad.
Oh, that tackle certainly from behind. But the reaction from Mbombo. I don't know why Mbombo always seems the need to speak to officials in that manner. He's been sent off several times at continental level, sent off several times in the league. Oh, the Chipata DC and Kitwe DC there with the Luansha Mayor, fans of Power Dynamos. And of course, the Kitwe Mayor is an Nkana fan. He's having a little bit of a tough afternoon because his team is trailing by 3 goals. This fan here with a lot of emotion on his face, Matimba, you can just imagine what he's thinking. It looks like his coach.
So is Chavinga and the rest of the team. 5 minutes, 7 goal attempts that Power Dynamos have had. Interesting to hear the post-match reactions from the players and also from the 2 coaches. I can imagine what Perry Bebeto Mutapa will say. In fact, he goes into the history books as the youngest coach for Power Dynamos to win a derby. Now, Musa Muhammad almost losing out on possession. Quick reaction by the Kenyan. 27 fouls committed. It's really been tough there. Already, it's Mbombo has gone down here. So it's another change. Should be the 3rd and final one. That will be coming up for the Power Dynamo side. Jimmy Zingai, the Zimbabwean, been ready to come in. Maybe it's also just an issue, clear indication they want to close the game. Having made already 2 changes that saw Mulambi and David Daka leaving for Linus Makwaza Jr. and Martin Kayua. Richard Okran. Musa Muhammad.
He should count his lucky stars. Fortunate he's on the field of play. Harun Shakava. A lot of professional fouls today. An elbow on Frederick Mulambia. An afternoon that has a lot of maybes and ifs. Heart in mouth moments. Nkana will have to change the run of Power if they score now, because Power has not conceded in the last 3 games. And there's something that Perry Mutapa and Masao Tembo have done with this Power side, is that Power doesn't seem to concede.
Now set piece, it's taken, and there was a good shot from Richard Okran, the Ghanaian, but he just zoomed past the crossbar from the 26-year-old.
Went for power, not precision. Ball always rising. Kakunta had it covered. But that's the most closest that Nkana have come in the last 10 minutes. The war not doing its job. White is looking to put his head and try to just change the trajectory of that ball. Kafwaya is being substituted. Jimmy Zingai comes on. Defender extraordinaire. I remember watching him on his debut. And, you know, he pretty much scored 2 goals on that day. He's a scorer, he's a defender, and he has a lot of maturity, the Zimbabwean.
Well, of course, he was the top scorer last season for the Power Dynamo side on with 4 goals. Jimmy Zingai. Again, player has been stopped because Lombe Chipupu, the team manager, and the match official, in this case the referee, Odrik Nkole, maybe concerns of security, that the security should be beefed up on the side where the second assistant is operating from. That is Meki Zulu, who was officiated and been involved in a lot of derbies, whereas in the case of well, good to see another Nkana supporter. That's Ruth. It's very easy to identify these ladies because they are always at these matches and present. So goal kick it will be, but play will have to be stopped because you can see that bottle that Mbombo is taking to the side.
And it's not only Mbombo, because there's a bottle being taken to the side by Kasonde as well, also at Kasonde. I mean, it's really been going on like this from the fans. and it's a Power Stadium, they'll say it's Nkana fans, they're the ones who are losing.
So the bragging rights will remain with Power Dynamos until the 16th of May 2020, when the return fixture will be played at the Nkana Stadium in Kitwe. That's when the Kitwe Derby, the El Kopala, will be back. 16th of May 2020. It's a long time.
And that might be a decider in all regards, because it's towards the end of the season. Might decide who finishes in the top 4, who wins the title. But for now, Nkana will need to score a goal every 30 seconds if they are going to level up.
Speaking of which, next week the World of Champions will be at the 107 Godfrey Chitaru Stadium as the Watcher Boys, Kaisa, Cabo Youth Soccer Academy, come up against Tonka Twende in the double header. Then later on, Magnificent Cabo Warriors, Waliangangande Waliankuku, Waliaka Kere Mlandu take on Elite Lusaka Dynamos. On Sunday, we will be at the Nkana Stadium in Kitwe. Kalampang, Nkana Football Club, Aba ready, Eba Awako, so say their supporters, but certainly not today. They'll be up against High Flying in Kwazi. We're now playing the additional minutes of this match, and of course, it's just about a matter of time that the final whistle should be coming through. Goal kick taken by Jackson Kakunta. It's all but almost wrapped up here. Benson Sakala with the back pass to Kakunta. Zingai has a first touch. Of course, Zingai is actually a musician and recently recorded an album in Zimbabwe. We're waiting to sample his music. Another difficult ball now. Power hoping to keep a clean sheet in this match, and that is evident with the introduction. Now, Mbombo hoping to win something on the arc, still fighting his way. Nothing given. Chiwoni to decide for Power Dynamos. Throw in for Power Dynamos. 1 minute of the additional 2 already played here, and any time from now, referee Nkole must be blowing the end of this match. We've got some mighty supporters also in the house, I reckon, because they're both bankrolled by Mopani, that have just come through to support the Nkana side. So Jimmy Zingai is down, and the 29-year-old former Yada Football Club player was part of the Zimbabwean team at the AFCON 2019. Down. Oh, it's actually beg your pardon, from this position looks like Zingai. It's actually White Mwanamba, but the also played for Napsa Stars. But this is how it happened. I think it's just the push or the awkward landing as a result of the push from Mbombo that has resulted in Mwanamba receiving some patching up or medical attention. Kadochi, the lady on the screen, part of the medical team, just coming through to help out in patching up. So the 2 minutes are already up, and maybe a chance to get a selfie. And I reckon she does know that it's Power Dynamos leading by 3-0 in some loose version. Yellow in color, a yellow representation, the yellow submarine it is. But for the Nkana supporters, it will be yet another day to go back, like they said, to the drawing board. It's not yet tattered because it's been a good run for the Power Dynamo, rather for the Nkana Football Club side. And yeah, football has really brought people from all the different areas and places to this magnificent masterpiece, Arthur Davis Stadium, one of the best playing surfaces in the country. So, Nkole anytime should be able to blow the end of the match here. But we still allow play to go on, maybe as a result of this stoppage. So then, Chamanga on the score sheet as well this afternoon. Nkole not doing a lot of movement in terms of the running, and anytime now should be blowing the end of this match. But now let's see, maybe Power still feel they can get a third one with Konwani Chiwoni on the attack. A Power Dynamos player is down. Looks like he was hit off the ball incident, it might have been. And the final whistle has come through here, and the bragging rights for Kitwe Town belong to the yellow section. And Rafael Mala captaining Power in his first derby as the captain, and what an important game it is in terms of you being a Power and Nkana supporter. But now, let's recap on the goals, shall we? It all started with this movement. Konwan Chiwoni bringing in the cross, and Chamanga, no chance for Alan Chiwe, and expertly tucked in. And at that stage, it almost looked like Nkana Football Club were going to come back. But how about this for the second goal? Frederick Mulambya bringing it inside, and David Daka registering his first goal of the season. It's turned out to be a day for the players that are yet to score in the 2019 season. And the third goal, again, it was the young Kondwani Chiboni involved. Man of the match performance that Chiboni has put up. Masao Sotembo. Oh, don't smash our cameras because we still need them for next week's broadcast. So, until 16th of May 2020, when these two teams meet in the return of the derby, Mulambya, Daka and Chamanga with the goal. It is powerful, Power Dynamos, Aba Yellow, Aba Busaka 3, Kalampa Nkana Football Club new. Join us next time on the World of Champions. Goodbye for now.
Thank you so much to our commentators, Matimba Konja alongside Mukamba Mwenda Jr. There's still so much celebration taking place for these Power Dynamos players in here. But I do have a man of the match who did put in quite a huge shift in as far as performance is concerned. And obviously it's Chimboni. Congratulations, Go TV, case of multi-choice Zambia. How was the game for you today?
The game was, it wasn't easy, it was quite tough, but I just give credit to my teammates who had to work as a team. And we carried the day, and I thank you for that, so that we carried the day.
And obviously you're talking about hard work, but it seemed as though you put in quite a lot of work. 2 assists in as far as the goals that were scored today.
Yes, I just had to follow the coach's instructions, so it was easy for me. Yes.
Talking about following the coach's instruction, I mean, your coach was playing his first derby today. How was it preparing for this game with Perry?
With Perry, preparing was quite tough because we had to put in a lot of hard work. Yes.
And obviously, it's a big victory. I know you've won too many games in your life, but this victory is a victory over Nkana, your arch-rivals. What does it mean for you, and how will you be celebrating this victory for you?
It's as in football, it's all the same. As in, although it's quite a big game, but it's all the same. My celebration continues to be the same, and I'll continue working hard as usual. Yes.
Thank you so much, and obviously I want you to go on the other side and pick up your airtime voucher with 500 kwacha from MTN Zambia, the league sponsors. Thank you so much, and wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
There you have it. That's our man of the match there. Chimboni put up a very decent shift in as far as this afternoon's game is concerned. He gets to receive the man of the match, voucher worth 500 kwacha from the league sponsors, MTN Zambia. An exceptional performance from our man of the match, and obviously this will go a long way in as far as the celebrations are concerned. Let me hear, obviously, from the coach in as far as the man of the match is concerned. Coach, you have to move this side, coach. I'm still waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, coach. Thank you so much. So this is our coach. There's so much confusion here. Coach, how was the game for you? I mean, how would you read the game for us? How did you find it today?
No. In today's game, most of our key players, our best players, they were out of form. So we couldn't even take in the midfield. First 10 minutes in the first half, 10 to 15 minutes, yeah, we started very well. Then we started losing the shape. Our key players, we couldn't function. Hence, conceding those the 3 goals.
Coach, you talk about they were out of form. There are quite a whole lot of things that you've mentioned. What do you think led to this?
Come again?
What do you think led to your players showing up, with less, impetus towards the game?
No. I mean, I can't tell on that one. Football is football. It happens in football. We have to admit that one. We have to go back and, correct our mistakes. Yeah.
Do you wish you had played Power Dynamos much earlier, before Perry and Masauso?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Any positives that you've picked, Coach, off this game, looking at the kind of games that you have ahead?
Yeah, like you say, we just need to improve in the midfield. We couldn't take. We cannot be relying on one player. Well, what about the other players? What are they doing? You see, if Mbombo is out of form, I mean, others, they must show that, they can deliver. So we have to go back and discuss on the same issue I'm talking about.
I know that this must be a painful loss, especially looking at the kind of record that you had before recording your first loss today.
It is, but again, comprehensions, if I can, put it that way. You can't, especially in this game, telling yourselves that, we're going to have it easy. Power Dynamos, they came prepared, they were all over us. You see, we couldn't thick in the midfield. They were outclassing us. I can admit on that one.
What will you be improving on as you prepare for Nkwazi?
No, overall, the overall, I can say overall performance, we can improve, like I mentioned, the midfield. We just need to improve a lot for the rest of the games that we'll be playing.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
That's our coach there, Manfred Chabinga, simply putting it simple, that he needs to improve as far as the midfield play is concerned ahead of Nkwazi. But he accepts also that he wishes he could have played Power Dynamos before Perry and Masauso took over. But I do have Perry with me here. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, Justin.
How will you be celebrating this victory? Let's start from there.
Yeah, I think the boys deserve it. I think we worked hard throughout the week. So it's just about to bring the confidence to the players. I think they have done well the last 4 games, and to score 3 against Nkana, to keep at bay Mbombo, Kelvin Mubanga, it's a good motivation for the coming encounters.
And obviously, Coach, I know that the first 45 minutes could have been a little bit frustrating. What was your message to the team in the dressing room?
I think we had a lot of ball possession, but I think when especially Lamek and Rari, we are having possession in our own half. So we taught them to have possession where to hit Nkana. And that's what happened in the second half.
Coach, let's be honest now. You have to be honest with me, Coach. This is your first derby victory over Nkana, and the scoreline is quite a screamer. Just be honest, Coach. What does this mean for you and the fact that you've just stepped in as head coach at Power Dynamos?
I think for me, yes, we are going to celebrate. The supporters are happy, the players are happy, but there is still a lot of work to be done, because sometimes such games you win 3-0 and then the next game is against NAPSA. Then you come and lose. Then the confidence again is down. So my word to the players will be to work hard. Like this 3-0, yes, we celebrate today, but come Tuesday, we are back to work. We forget about this 3-0.
Thank you so much, Coach, and I wish you all the best of luck as you take on NAPSA. They seem to be on fire.
Yeah, I think NAPSA, Nkana, they were the form team. Zesco playing very well. So it will be a tough game because NAPSA play a similar game to us. I think they have got good players like Skombe. They play a passing game, so it will be a difficult game. To be a difficult game, and we hope we work hard and win. So obviously we are not going to win 3-0, but we plan to win. But it will be a difficult game against NAPSA.
Coach, thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck. They have it. That's a Perry there, seemingly bubbling with confidence. He knows that it will be a tougher assignment as they look forward to take on NAPSA Stars. But for now, he wants the fans to celebrate. He will celebrate as well. Come Tuesday, it's back to work at the office, and certainly it will be a different ball game altogether. Let's summarize this particular game for you. And obviously, we hope that it will be an interesting encounter. And obviously, stats don't lie. If you look at what happened now, obviously 6 shots on target for this, NAPSA side, for this Power Dynamo side, obviously. But for Nkana, 2 shots on target overall in as far as performance is concerned. They'll be hoping that they'll be able to improve on these stats going forward. Ball possession-wise, it's still Power Dynamos commanding that area at the end of 90 minutes. And obviously, this means that there'll be a whole lot of work. Danny, let me quickly pick your thoughts around this game, though.
Yeah, the game has been very, 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 very entertaining, especially in the second half where we've seen most of the attack coming from the right wing, where Chiboni has been terrorizing the defense of Nkana. And then the midfield, I think Nkana dominated midfield in the second half when they made those 2 substitutions, but they didn't give anything to the game. And the end, they were just playing for the sake of playing. Then they've given up. But Power for them to come up in the second half and score 2 goals, I think that's a tremendous performance by the youthful Nkana. The beautiful Power Dynamos.
Such a huge scoreline to pick up your victory as first-time head coach in a derby, in the case of Perry as well as Masauso.
Look, it's about tactics. I said at the beginning of the game, the beauty with Masauso and Perry is that they prepare for the opponents. They nullified Nkana's threat. They didn't allow Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba space on the ball. Idris Ilunga Mbombo was frustrated from the taunting in the thing. It affects you as a player. Somebody's telling you, if you score today, I'm buying you a chicken. You know, I'm sleeping in your house. Stuff like that. They know each other, these players. So already the mind game from Perry and Masauso had worked. On the field of play, you notice what they were doing. They kept David Daka on his lonesome selfness, passing the ball, frustrating this Nkana side. And to be honest, Nkana tactically failed on the day, taken to the cleaners.
Taken to the cleaners. He's already thinking ahead, Coach. He's saying, look, yes, we have won today, but Tuesday back to the office because we have to prepare for NAPSA Stars. And he says, look, Nkana, Zesco, these are teams that have enjoyed some top form. That means this is.
I mean, look at where they came from. They came from bashing Zanaco 3-0, and then they bashed Nkana today 3-0. Now they're heading. They're planning now to play NAPSA. I think what he has to tell the guys is, I mean, we are doing it. Let's continue doing it, and let's continue where we have ended. And for Power to perform like this at home, I think it's a plus to them.
Excellent stuff. Let's quickly look at how the game went by, and obviously talking about the goals. They came in the first 45 minutes, only had one goal coming through, and obviously it was Luka Chamanga. 42nd minute it was.
Yeah, look at Chamanga. Look at the combination. Yeah, there's Chibon again. Chibon providing an assist. Daka giving that dummy, and Chamanga giving that precision. Cool and collected, taking up the post, very calm, and let's place the ball in the net, which was very commendable.
But obviously at this moment you'd think that it was going to be very tough. The floodgates would probably stop and then Nkana would get back to the game. It wasn't the case.
It looked like Nkana would recover, but again, look at that backline from Nkana. There were problems in defense. If it wasn't for Otieno being the sweeper, the ball was always going into that defense. That defense has no clue whether they're coming or going. Otieno was really helping them, and every time he was covering that. But the shape of the defense, David Daka, he jumps, and who's behind him? Otieno. If Otieno makes contact with that ball, it's not a goal. Otieno was the reason why Nkana were not conceding the goals, but rightly so, as the coach has put it. Chamanga,
so, but anyway,
very calm, picks the spot.
Yeah, we're busy talking about Otieno, who was playing as a midfielder. He had to come back.
He was the sweeper.
Yeah.
He was the sweeper.